The FBI conceded today that it completely missed a number of opportunities to stop the Parkland, Florida school shooter, Nikolas Cruz. These weren't just minor hints or oblique clues. These were blaring warnings. The Bureau was warned last month about Cruz's erratic behavior, about his owning a lot of guns and his desire to kill people, but they did nothing. They didn't follow up. That's in addition to a failure to catch Cruz after receiving a tip in September. But as many have pointed out recently, the FBI has bigger matters on its hands than protecting school children from murderers.
Is it possible, ladies and gentlemen, that the FBI may not have the resources to deal with complaints like this? How many people at the FBI are still trying to prove that Trump colluded with Russia? Hillary Clinton and the Democrats have the FBI so occupied tracking down something that didn't happen, they may not have the resources to pull this kid off the street.
Tim Clemency is a former FBI special agent, and he joins us tonight. Tim, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Tucker.
It seems like an awful lot of people knew that Cruz was a potential threat. I think local police went to his house 39 times in response to complaints. The FBI received a couple of pretty explicit tips about him and didn't follow up. All of us want to think the best of the FBI. What do you think happened here?
Tucker, I still think the best of the FBI as an agency and as the premier law enforcement and investigative body in the world, but that doesn't mean there aren't fatal flaws within the system and the personnel that are there. They're all human beings make mistakes, and I'm hoping this was a mistake. I'm hoping this was a clerical error where somebody took a phone call, wrote out a lead, and then the lead somehow didn't get into the system and not sent down to the Miami division where it could have been acted on. I'm hoping that's what happened. Worst case is that a human being read this information, heard this information, was given it over the phone, and decided that they were the final arbiter and they didn't need to send it any further. And I'm really hoping that Director Wray, being a new director to the FBI in this a very, very bad period of turmoil for the FBI, will allow himself to do a very public examination of this problem and reveal it to the public so that the public can have confidence again. Unfortunately, the FBI has been overwhelmingly politicized in the last few years, as we've seen with McCabe and some of the other characters at headquarters acting as, like Politburo members, not as investigative members of the FBI.
Well, that's the way it looks. I agree. And I want to think the best of Director Wray as well. But then he comes out and issues this statement today in which he sort of lectures us by saying, the men and women who work here really have the safety of Americans as their first priority. In other words, we have the best intentions. Not that I really care about their intentions, I care about what they do, but I don't even believe that, given the Strzok and Page text that we've all read. Why would he say something so obviously false?
Well, I think he's probably reeling from what's happened not only today and what happened earlier this week with this horrific mass murder, but also with what's happened to the FBI and its reputation because of people like Strzok, Page, McCabe, and others. I mean, they clearly exhibited what were the least objective traits of any human being. And I worked under Republican presidents and Democratic presidents as an FBI agent, and there were things that I found out about specifically the Clinton administration when I was working there, that I still to this day would not reveal publicly because it would be embarrassing to the office that I was working under as an FBI agent.
Right.
But these individuals see that it's their mission to be politically active in their job, and that's horrific. And so I'm hoping that, again, that this was a problem and an administrative problem, because what happens is you call the FBI, it's not a 911 system, some duty agent or a support person would answer the phone, try and route your phone call to the people that would be most appropriate to handle it, and that might be a very junior agent or a very, very senior agent, but it might be somebody that doesn't know what to do with the information. And in this case, it would seem it would be very likely, if the individual you're talking about is in Miami, that you would tell the Miami division so a lead could be generated for agents to follow up. Obviously, that never happened, and lives were lost because of it.
Well, they were busy tracking down those fake Russian Twitter accounts. Tim, thank you for that. I appreciate your experience view.